President Uhuru Kenyatta today chaired Jubilee Parliamentary Group Meeting at Statehouse, Nairobi. And that meeting was also attended by the Deputy President William Samoei Ruto. And most Kenyans had actually expected Aden Duale to be kicked out as the majority leader. But Aden Duale has survived. Now, this is what State House posted after that meeting. Now, this is what the State House posted. President Kenyatta chairs Jubilee Coalition Parliamentary Group Meeting. So just from that headline, it means Jubilee Coalition, which means even members of parliament allied to KANU were present at that meeting. It says, President Uhuru Kenyatta today at State House Nairobi chaired a Jubilee Coalition National Assembly Parliamentary Group Meeting in his capacity as the coalition party leader. The meeting was also attended by Deputy President Dr. William Ruto, who is also the Jubilee Coalition Deputy Party Leader, Party Secretary General Raphael Tuju, and a total of 212 members of parliament. Today's parliamentary group meeting endorsed Honorable Justice B. Muturi to continue serving as the Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Moses Cheboy to continue serving as the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Aden Duale to continue serving as the Majority Leader in the National Assembly, and Honorable Jimmy Makwiny to continue serving as the Deputy Majority Leader at the National Assembly. The parliamentary group meeting replaced Honorable Benjamin Washiali as the Majority Whip with Emmanuel Wangwe, and Honorable Cecil Mbarire was replaced by Richard Maoka Maore as the Deputy Whip. Maore has been one of the key players in Kileweke politics in the larger Mount Kenya region. Further, the party leader appointed Amos Kimunya to serve as the Secretary of the Jubilee Coalition Joint Parliamentary Group, Kanzedena. So from that pronouncement, it means Aden Duale has survived. And by yesterday, personally, I talked to someone and I was sure that Aden Duale was going. I talked to someone in the evening and I was convinced that Aden Duale was going. And for those who follow politics also, Moses Kuria, the Gatundu South Member of Parliament, also made an interesting post. I'm just trying to look for it. And in that post, Moses Kuria is saying, the common factor between Judas Iscariot and Brutus was that both went to kill with a grain. Today, we had enough smiles. Tonight is the night of long knives. The victims have accepted with grace. I am very, very proud of my outgoing team. We have done this country great. I am heartened by the valor, fortitude, and humility with which the asked leaders have taken this betrayal. Honorable Duale, Majority Leader. Benjamin Washiali, Majority Whip. Cecil Barire, Deputy Whip. Kimani Shungwa, Budget. Cheptumo, JLAC. Sholei, Delegated. Julius Meli, Education. Joseph Limo, Finance. Alice Wahome, Vice Chair, Legal. And myself, Vice Chair, Transport. So even Moses Kuria, by yesterday, was convinced that Aden Duale was going to go. But Aden Duale has survived. What informed the president's decision to save Aden Duale? Because I believe strongly that in politics, sometimes you must crush your enemy completely. But Robert Greene also tells us in the 48 Laws of Power, law number 2, that never put too much trust in friends learn to use enemies. So I want to assume that President Uhuru Kenyatta is actually applying that rule. He's trying to use the enemy, who is Aden Duale. Because again, in that rule, it can be explained in a very simple way. That friends normally have nothing to lose, but enemies always have a point to prove. So Aden Duale is likely to prove a point in future to President Uhuru Kenyatta that is loyal. But why did Aden Duale survive? Only 3 reasons. The first reason, which I've gathered, is the Somali factor. Initially, the people who were planning to kick out Aden Duale had wanted Amos Kemunya to replace him. Because there's a feeling in central Kenya, there's a strong feeling in central Kenya that someone needed to be elevated at the National Assembly. So that settled on Amos Kemunya. But there is the Somali factor. This number of Somalis in this country cannot be taken for granted. For example, Aden Duale comes from one of those tiny constituencies, the Garissa Township. That constituency, even some wards in central Kenya, are bigger than that constituency. But how many Somalis do we have spread across the country? And later on, there was even the thought that Aden Kenyan was likely to replace Aden Duale. But Aden Duale has established himself as a key player in Somali politics. So the people of Somali origin in this country were comfortable with Aden Duale. And that's why Aden Duale has survived. Number 2 is that Aden Duale was saved by key allies of President Uhuru Kenyatta.
In terms of the national leadership of the National Assembly, personally, I think the majority leader has done his job. His loyalty may lie elsewhere in terms of his political affiliation. We are not bothered. That is his democratic right. I believe he has done his job as the leader of the majority in the House, because he has pushed through the government programs, the bills, anything that the government has wanted to prosecute on the floor, he has done it diligently. I cannot say the same of the whip of the National Assembly, my friend Washiali.
David Murade is on record that as far as he's concerned, Aden Duale has performed his duties as per the expectations of the president. Whether he was in Tangatanga or whether Aden Duale was in Keleweke. But as far as the parliamentary duties are concerned, Aden Duale has performed. Justin Muturi, who has been the Speaker of the National Assembly, also intervened. He convinced the president why he needed Aden Duale. Because according to Justin Muturi, Aden Duale is one of the best majority leaders Jubilee can ever have. I'm told even in ODM party, John Mbadi intervened. And the president then decided to save Aden Duale. And also on this platform, I've been on record that Aden Duale is such a politician that the image he projects outside there is totally different from the image he portrays at a personal level. So Aden Duale had dependable people around President Uhuru Kenyatta. And these people actually prevailed. Personally, I'd concluded that Aden Duale was going yesterday. And apart from yesterday, the time Grand Mullah Ahmed Nasir posted that Aden Duale is going, but Jubilee Party will regret. And also the moment Ndugu Francis Atwoli indicated that Aden Duale was going. But of course, the president probably we don't know what they discussed with Raila Odinga at that night, decided to save Aden Duale. The third reason why Aden Duale survived is his performance as the majority leader of the National Assembly. Aden Duale has always delivered to the Jubilee government. You can't find fault in Aden Duale when it comes to government business in the house. Even when Jubilee politics was high voltage, he would always assume there's nothing, then just push for the president's agenda. And that's actually what has worked in his favor. In ODM circles, Aden Duale is highly respected. In Jubilee circles, Aden Duale is highly respected. You go to even these other political parties, KANU, they respect Aden Duale. So his performance as a majority leader, forget about being part of Tanga Tanga or the rest, but his performance as the majority leader also saved it. But the question which Kenyans are asking, is it a good idea for President Uhuru Kenyatta to retain Aden Duale? Because we know the president's game plan is very clear. The mere fact, for example, that the deputy president was present in this event and the deputy president and his team have been opposed to the Jubilee coalition, which includes KANU, and he was present, then is it a good move? Politically speaking. In my view, I don't know what informed the president, but politically speaking, number one thing is that Aden Duale can actually turn out to be a spy. The 48 laws of power, number 14, is very clear that you can always pose as a friend and work as a spy. So there's a chance that Aden Duale can pose now as a friend of President Uhuru Kenyatta. He can deliver for the president. If the president wants something to be done, he can deliver. But still work as a spy for the deputy president. I want us to go back to what happened at the Senate. At the Senate, the president started by removing majority leader and majority whip. Then after that, they went for the committees. So today, the only thing which happened was the removal of Washiali. And removing Washiali as the majority whip has actually dented him completely. I don't think he's going to recover from that in Western Kenya because he will no longer have a platform. He's not an inspiring leader. So without a platform as a majority whip, it's going to be really, it's going just to be just an ordinary member of parliament. But what we expect is that Emmanuel Wangwe, probably today or tomorrow, on the floor of the House, is going to recommend changes to the House committees. And that's where most people like Moses Kuria, people like Kimani Shungwa, Aris Wahome, people like Sholei are going to go. That's exactly the script which happened in the Senate. In the Senate, once the new majority whip was appointed, then his next business was to clean the House business committees. So we are expecting this to be affected. But because Aden Duale is likely to work as a spy for the DP, it means the DP can easily deal with those emerging issues. Number two is that the majority leader, Aden Duale, being there, he can actually decide to sabotage the president's agenda. And of course, Aden Duale is not known to be someone who is sabotaging things. But because it's one guy, the fact of the matter is Aden Duale ni mtu wa Ruto is so loyal to the deputy president. His politics has always centered from the time he left ODM around the deputy president. So he can decide to sabotage the president. The president, if you followed, there's a gazette notice. Is it a gazette notice? Or what these guys are going to do in parliament? So probably the referendum bill is going to be read for the first time in the National Assembly. Aden Duale, as the majority leader, automatically becomes a member of the House Business Committee. That's the committee which determines what is debated in the National Assembly. So he can decide to sabotage everything. And number three, the third mistake, is that in politics, you must crush your enemy completely. The mere fact that the president had started this journey of cleaning both houses, the Senate is now clear. Then the National Assembly, he's done it partially, because with Aden Duale serving, then it's partial. It means Aden Duale can regroup. He can mobilize other sympathizers of the DP and regroup. And once they regroup, they can really hit the president at the appropriate time. And again, these things which will be discussed, because I'm sure the president has decided on what he wants. We are going for a referendum. He stated that very clearly yesterday. The DP has been opposed to that. The president has already managed to bring on board KANU, and now he's no longer chairing Jubilee Parliamentary Group Meeting. The president is now chairing Jubilee Coalition Parliamentary Group Meeting. Without crushing Aden Duale, there is a problem. These guys might regroup. But again, we are in politics. Probably the president, the people who intervened, because remember, Aden Duale has very dependable people around the president. Murathe has been defending him. Apart from Murathe, Yusuf Haji, those are some of that's one guy the president listens to. He's related to Aden Duale. The guy who saved Moi during the 1982 coup, Mohamed Mahmoud, the daughter is married to Aden Duale. So in short, those people easily intervened on behalf of Aden Duale. So Aden Duale might decide to play balls on behalf of the president. But for now, let us wait and see what is going to happen in Parliament in the next 2 or 3 days. And if you're bumping on this video for the first time, I want you to take a second or two and hit the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this one, you get notified. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is today. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day.